Okay, write this down here. Part 3, it's called the ideal gas law. All right? This is the last note for the day. It's called the ideal gas law. So we got the combined gas law, which is when a gas is changing. The ideal gas law is when a gas is not changing. Okay? So when a gas isn't changing. So if I have this balloon right here, and I'm not going to change the conditions, but I know enough about it, but I want to know more. That's when we use this. Okay? So I want to figure out information about this balloon. Because all gases kind of behave similarly. Similarly. I can't say that word. Mr. D, say similarly for me.
Similar.
See, it's a hard word.
Similarly.
There's a lot of vowels in that.
Similarly.
Okay, here's what the variables mean. Ready? Pressures, P. We're going to use atmospheres. Atmospheres, volume, we're going to use liters. N is new, it's the number of moles. How much? Moles. R is a constant, and this is the value for R right here. 0.0821. That value will always be that. So you are always given that. And then what's temperature going to be? Kelvin, K. Now, I'm going to give you, Samir, I'm going to give you, this is the base equation. Pressure volume is equal to nRT, all right? But I'm going to solve the algebra here for you very easily. Write this out. If I want to solve for pressure, pressure is going to be nRT divided by V. Write that down. If I want to solve for volume, volume is going to be nRT divided by P. Kareem, write it down. If I want to solve for moles, which is N, it's going to be N is equal to PV divided by RT. If I want to solve for temperature, temperature is going to be PV divided by NR. So I orchestrated all four of these. Okay, right here, these four are I just did the algebra ahead of time for you. Okay, so if it asks you to solve for temperature, pick temperature. If it asks you to solve for volume, pick the volume one. But this is kind of the base equation that I just organized it all off of. Does that make sense, everybody? Yes? Okay, so I just did the math for you. You don't even have to think about it. So let's plug it in. Ready? So here's what the question asks. So when this gas isn't changing is when we use this. Okay? What will the volume be? V, right away. So what equation am I going to use? nRT over P. V is equal to nRT over P. Okay? What will the volume be when 2.69 moles of neon at 1.2 atmospheres and 212 K? Okay, so volume is equal to how many moles? N is moles, 2.69 times, what's R? What is the value for R? You'll always have it, which is 0.0821. Where did you get that? I got that number from there, right? It's always going to be that. It's a constant. Times temperature, which is 212, divided by pressure, which is 1.2 atm. Okay? So let's just look. Where did I get those numbers from? Moles, 2.69, N. Okay? Constant yellow is R. R is right there. Okay? You'll just assume that you know it. 212 Kelvin, temperature. Pressure, okay, is going to be, I don't want to use the baby blue. I already used that. We'll go gray. Gray, pressure. Okay, so it's solving for the variables. What's the answer? 39 liters. Okay, so it's just plugging in the right stuff. All right. At what temperature? Okay, so what equation am I going to use now? Temperature is equal to PV over NR. That's fine. 39.2 is good. PV over NR. All right, so what temperature will occupy 14 moles? So let's just start plugging stuff in. 14.1 moles times 0.0821, that's R, at 3.4 atmospheres times 155 liters. Okay, so where did I get everything from? Well, that's R, right? It's always R. What is 14.1? 14.1 is moles. N. Good? 155 is what? Liters. Volume. Right? And then 3.4 atmospheres. Okay? Answer is, the temperature is 455 Kelvin. Okay? Why don't you go ahead and see if you can do the last two on that side. I gotta tell you one thing there, okay? So go ahead and do the last two. Okay, don't just copy them down, actually try to do them. All right? There's the somewhat of the answers. Okay, you're gonna solve for pressure. So it's gonna be P is equal to nRT divided by V. This one is how many moles, which is N. Okay. N is gonna be PV divided by RT. Okay, and you can solve for that stuff. All right. I got to circle number 5. I got to talk about it. Okay. Sound good? Try those two quick. See if you can get those answers, and I will post them up here in 1 second.